What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 55 of the Offshore Gamescast. Dave.
Dylan. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the whole show. Thanks for listening.
That's it. Thank you. Don't leave a review or a rating anywhere.
No, that is not what our plug says on our show notes, Dave.
What does it say on our show notes?
It says, leave a review.
I don't have to.
Please, if you are listening to this show and you get any sort of enjoyment or intellectual information from these two intellectual information-y people,
I'm an idiot.
then leave a rating or a review or both on whatever you listen to us on. There's probably some sort of option. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review. Spotify, you can rate. Google Podcasts, I think you can rate. I don't think you can review on there. Whatever you listen to us on.
Podcast.
I've never used it either. It's kind of like once you pick your platform and once you have it, like that's it.
Who uses Google Podcast?
Nah, I'm Apple. I'm all in on Apple Podcasts.
Spotify
would be my second choice. I'll say that. But I'm already just so I'm subscribed to everyone on Apple Podcasts. I'm not changing. You know when it's just like that?
Oh, trust me. I know.
You know. So please do that for us. It helps a lot. It helps the show grow, helps get more ears into our bodies.
Huh?
For the show.
Right,
for the show. Yeah.
Show body.
Yeah, the show body, exactly.
Showtime.
Speaking of showtime, we played some games.
We did.
I want to start by talking about Silt. Now, we've had some confusion.
You have had some confusion.
Well, I always have confusion. Let's be real. I thought it was Silt to start, and then it was then I thought it was Slit.
I mean, to be honest, the last three letters, they don't make it easy on you.
No, they don't. So I'm gonna actually backtrack that. I thought it was Slit, and then I realized, oh no, it's Silt. But then something happened. I don't remember what, and I was like, oh no, it's Slit. Right, that game's Slit. And then my coworker played the demo. Was like, "Hey, have you seen this game, Silt?" And I was like, "Fuck, it is Silt." So Silt. The game is Silt, Dave.
Oh, I know.
Silt, not Slit. For those that were wondering,
isn't
I'm pretty sure
like watery sand?
Maybe I thought it was silting, like you're silting through it, like you're going.
That's
through
sifting.
You're right. That is sifting.
Silt.
You see, just like I said, intellectual. What do I call us?
I don't care.
Intellectual
Silt definition: fine sand, clay, or other material carried by running water and deposited as a sediment.
All right. Well, I didn't really witness that happening in the game. So this game, I went into it expecting very much like a Limbo type deal, or
That's what
an
I was
Inside, like one of
expecting.
those. It's definitely more puzzly than that. So this is how it works. You start off, there's not much story explanation for what's going on here, but I wasn't exactly expecting it. You start off at this dude just chained to the bottom of the sea in like your sea suit, the thing that you see in the trailer that you're wearing. And your white light turns on in your mask. And to escape from this chain, because you're chained to the seabed, you have to shoot this white light. It comes out of your mask, and you direct it towards a nearby sea creature, and you can possess them. So to get out, you go to the nearby fish with like big teeth, and you make it chomp on the chain, because each thing you can possess has its own little ability. Mm-hmm. And then you're free, and then you go back to your guy, and you're moving along, and it's kind of like each little room, kind of each screen, if you will, is its own puzzle that you have to get through. It's all about figuring out the puzzle to get to the next screen, the next room.
Portal.
I wish it was Portal.
Oh, so do I.
So you're possessing these sea creatures, and the only story you really get is that your mission is to destroy the Goliaths. And the Goliaths are these like big sea creatures. It's so, like I said, not entirely sure what's happening. I didn't actually finish this game, but I get the vibe that I think it wants to go for a Shadow of the Colossus type thing, where
Okay.
like you're killing these Goliaths, and then you're gonna find out that, oh, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Maybe I'm the bad
As
guy
it
here.
goes.
As it goes. Again, I didn't finish the game, so that's just speculation. Maybe I'm right, and that's a spoiler. And I don't know. If you speculate something correctly, is that a spoiler? Does that count?
No. It just means you're intellectual.
Then that's where we are here. A couple of intellectual informants. I had this game break on me twice. So one time was I'm swimming through and I'm being chased by this creature all of a sudden. So my thought is, oh, I'll possess them and move them away from me, as I've had to do a couple of times with other creatures. You don't possess these things. Apparently, you're supposed to just run away. But while I was trying to possess it, it attacked me, and the game wouldn't let me move. It wouldn't let me cancel out of my possession. It just sat there, and I couldn't like even bring the pause menu up, but like things were still moving on the screen, but it was just stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to quit the game. And then another time was I possessed this little leech thing, because these little leeches will grab onto you and you have to like move them out of the way. Sometimes I'm possessing them and just moving them. And so I moved it into this fan because I knew it would kill it. And I've done it before, so it's not like that's an issue. It died, and then it did the same type of thing where the game just, I didn't go back to my body. I couldn't go back to my body no matter what I did. It was just, that was it. Got to reset the game. That second time it broke on me, it was like, well, I think I'm going to call it. Because in my experience with this game, it's not long from what I understand. I was probably about halfway through. I think it's only like a 3-hour game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty short. At least that was what How Long to Beat said, and I played it for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And I think there were 4 Goliaths, and I did 2 of them. So, the puzzles, because that's what this game came about, right? Like possessing these sea creatures to complete the puzzles to move on to the next screen.
Mm-hmm.
I found them not challenging. It was always kind of clear of like, yeah, this is what I have to do. But then it was just kind of tedious to actually do it. And part of that is because everything moves so slow. Like you're swimming, and then the things you possess, like there is like a speed boost thing, but even so, it still moves slower than you want it to.
I mean,
And
I feel like a lot of that's like the anxiety that they're trying to add in. But if the gameplay isn't as necessarily like well structured enough, that's when it becomes a pain in the ass.
So that's also part of the thing, is that I pretty much never had any anxiety with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted it to be kind of creepier than it was, because you're in the fucking bottom of the ocean. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't. So there was no challenge to the puzzles, and completing them wasn't fun. So after I broke the second time, I was like, I don't need this in my life. So I for the first time on Offshore, I gave this game a score that I didn't complete. And I'm giving it a solid 4.5, 4.5 out of 10.
I've been kind of excited for it, and it's sad because that's exactly what I was expecting. I wanted another Limbo. I wanted another Inside with like a cool vibe, and it doesn't sound like it's hitting that mark whatsoever.
No, and I mean, everyone's experiences are different. So maybe you will play this and completely love this game, but
Mm-hmm.
it just did it. And it's $15, and I would definitely say, like, if you want to try this, like, wait till it's on Game Pass. That's because it probably will be at some point, because it totally seems like the type of game that would be.
Yeah.
But I was pretty disappointed in this, because I thought it looked cool.
That
And
sucks.
it was like, even like the first like half hour, it's like, okay, like I could see what's going on here. And then they just kept repeating the same exact puzzles, but just making it longer. So it's just taking longer and longer to do. And it wasn't enjoyable. It was tedious. It felt like a chore, and then it kept breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
10 out of 10 for disappointment.
Because I've been excited. I completely forgot about it, but I've been excited for it. Boo-hoo.
I don't recommend it. Again, maybe you'll play it and love it, and then you'll call me an idiot. But no, 10 out of 10 for disappointment.
To be honest, I'm a little disappointed too. So I picked Dying Light 2 back up. I finished Wonderlands and I wanted to like hop back into another big game because, geez, fucking RPGs, and let's all release them at the same time and give nobody fucking time to do anything. So I came back, and just to like start off, I was just doing random side quests and just playing around just to reacclimate myself with the game. I was just running around, killing zombies, and like part of it felt good, but I want to say like after like half an hour or 40 minutes, I was just like, I just kind of got bored. I started to like fall off it again, and I don't know if it's one of those things where I just need to again play more, level up, and finally like break out. Because specifically in these games, you're supposed to start off shit. You're supposed to start off weak. You can't jump very far. You're not strong, and you know that sort of progression excites me. Like in the first Dying Light, the 100+ hour that I put in, and just that feeling of like I'm getting better and I'm seeing the progress, and that feels great. I love that. And I don't know if that's going to do it for me, because along with that is the whole new like narrative style of like that Fallout, like you're face to face with someone, you have dialogue options. Definitely for the side quests, I began to skip a lot of that dialogue because it's just like, I don't know who these characters are. I don't give a shit who these characters are. They're small characters, whatever. Just let me get back to jumping and swinging whatever weapon I have. But at points, it feels like there's just like I still need to play more. But at the moment, I don't know if the Fallout style was the best idea for it. Granted, I still need to see some of those changes and like maybe see how the map does. But that first Dying Light, I sunk its teeth into me so well, and this one is just like barely hanging on. The last thing that I did before I ended up getting off was I leveled up a little bit. I think I did one main mission, just going around. I was doing like stuff at night, which in the early game, it's not the most fun. It can be challenging and scary, but like for someone like me, I'm kind of getting bored. I just want to progress more.
That's such a humble flex.
I mean, here's the thing though. In the first Dying Light, it had such a good vibe to it. When you meet that first volatile and you're exploring around and like they're on your ass as you're running away, it's terrifying. But in this, it just doesn't feel the same. Like you see the chase started 1/4, and I'm just like, whatever. Where's the nearest like UV light? I just gotta run to it and just get there.
You're hardened now. That's it.
Is that it? I don't know. The Resident Evil games at night with headphones on still scare me, but that's the point. But I don't know. It's just not the same. I don't know why it's not the same. I don't get it. But I leveled up a bit, and I got a new like the parkour ability where I get to like jump farther, or like I can boost myself farther when I like make a jump off of something. So maybe that'll help make it feel better. And like a lot of the things too, like starting off, the jumps, you're supposed to be bad, but the jumps feel so floaty as well. Like you're just kind of like bouncing around on moon gravity in a way. And it just, when I tell people, I've said this before, I don't like it, the game feels weird. Like I've had this argument over and over about the first Homefront, and I'm like, I didn't like it. It felt weird. It felt weird to play.
I get what you're saying though. When a game just feels like a little bit off.
Like even like it doesn't even matter if you mess with the sensitivity or those kind of settings. It's just the core game. It just feels weird.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's kind of what Dying Light 2 feels like to me. And I'm not even gonna say it's dumb, fucking stupid sub fucking name.
Stay human.
It's so dumb. Hate it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. But that's
a bummer, especially because that game's supposed to be all about the parkour, right? Like,
I know.
The last thing you want is for that to not feel good.
When I hopped back into it, I felt like, all right, I like Dying Light. I'm gonna come in with fresh eyes again. It's been a while. Let me reacclimate myself, jump around. And after a little bit, I was just like, it started fine, and then I got really excited at a point early on of just killing zombies. It just felt good. And then I got so bored. I just wanted to do something else.
That sucks.
I know.
That was like one of the games you were the most excited for.
See, and that's the weird thing too. 2022 is going to be like, oh, the best year in gaming. Granted, a good amount of those have been pushed back or delayed now, but still, these big games that have released, they're not doing it to me like I want. Like this, Horizon, I still got to get back in Horizon, but it's like, Wonderlands, it's just, I feel like do I even know what games are anymore? Am I the idiot? Like,
so, no, I agree because, yeah, we were both going to this year like, this year is it looks like it's gonna be one of the best years ever for gaming. And like I say, yeah, a lot of the things were delayed, understandably, just with how things are now.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, like we're halfway through the year. It's July already. And like the only big game that's really hit for me is Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's just been like indies that have been surprising me along the way. But like
it's Pokemon for me still.
I did forget about Pokemon. That one hit for me too.
Oh my god. I still like as of right now, Pokemon's probably like my game of the year still.
I don't know if anything can top Elden Ring for me this year. I just don't know if it can.
That's one of the games that I have sitting underneath the TV right now that I'm just like, it's like one of the, I took like more of the recent games that have been sitting around and just threw them under the TV. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Horizon. I'm looking at Elden Ring, etc. I'm just like, maybe one of these days I won't be so mad and I'll throw it in and see how mad I get.
You got to make sure you're in a good mood, and you have to make sure that you really don't want to be in a good mood.
Exactly.
And then you throw it in.
Here, let me rage quit one game and let me try Elden Ring for a bit, because that's a good idea.
At least that's the idea of it, though. It's supposed to be hard.
That's where I'm at with Dying Light at the moment.
All right, Dave. Let's get some positivity going here.
Oh, right now see the positivity.
Yeah, we've just had some negativity going on. Let's do some positive things, like talking about Neon White. I have finished it. It's done. So the story I am happy with. Kind of like I said last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. Whenever I last talked about Neon White, the story of the characters and like their backstories at some point became kind of like, okay, I see what's going on here. Like, I'm going to get some extra details about the characters and stuff, but I get the general gist and like, it's fine. Really what I'm interested about this, what is this so-called heaven? What is this game? Why do things seem so corrupt and weird? I got all the answers to that, and that I felt happy with. I felt happy with where the story went.
That's good.
There is a so-called good ending and bad ending, but without obviously going into spoilers, it just comes down to a choice you make at the very end of the game. But
is it like an obvious one?
I thought it was obvious of like what the good thing, quote unquote, to do was, like what the right thing is.
Yeah.
But you could make an argument for the other thing. But again, obviously not going to go into the details of that. I got all the ace medals and I got all the gifts, and that unlocks rush modes when you complete someone's, like, I don't know if it was like friendship level. It wasn't that, but like you level up, their social meter. After giving them all the gifts and doing all their side quests, you unlock their rush modes, which is basically two versions. So it's all their levels put into like one continuous thing, essentially. And you can do that with like unlimited retries. You can die, it's okay, and just restart. Or there's the super hard way.
Yeah.
Of trying to get through all those levels without dying once. You die once, it's over. So like I mess around with those a little bit. They're, it's fun, but that I didn't need to replay all those levels in a big string.
Yeah, it's just like a fun little like boss rush in a way.
Right, exactly. I did find out that it's not like required, but there is apparently a level above ace medals that's a hidden time.
Ooh.
And you have to. It's beating one of the developers' times that they have on there, which
Ooh,
is
the people who play it
cool.
over and over and over.
Yes, so I went. Which this definitely has it because at the end of the day, this is a game built around speedrunning. And I did find out that just from my research, because I'm an intellectual informant, as I'm saying this episode. That's our new branding.
Mm-hmm.
That the PC. So this is on PC and Switch. The Switch version, the Switch times that you have to get to, the times you have to beat, is longer than the PC times.
Which makes
to account,
sense.
yeah, to account for the fact that you can do shit a lot faster with a mouse and keyboard than you can with Joy-Cons.
Yeah, and more accurately.
Exactly. But I never, throughout the entire game, I never had an issue with frame rate, which would be a big one playing on the Switch. Never had an issue with frame rate. It never like looked poor. It moved really well. I thought the balance of going for all the ace medals was perfect in the sense that some of the levels were hard and some of the end ones got pretty damn hard going for the ace medal, but it wasn't too much. It was never like, I can't do this, I have to give up. So I thought that balance was great. Overall, I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10. I really, really like this game, and I completely forgot about Pokemon, but if I had to pick a top 3 from this year so far, it would be Elden Ring, Pokemon, and Neon White. Like, I really enjoyed this game. I think it's definitely worth buying it.
I always find it funny, things like that, because it's like that game that I've known for like a year and a half at this point, and I just
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, and like I just completely probably forgot to mention it, and you're like, oh, this is new, and I'm like, well, not really, and you're like, but it's the best thing I've played.
Listen, you get towards the end of the game, you get 2 abilities, and I'll talk about one. I won't talk about the other because it is kind of a story spoiler.
Hugs and kisses.
Yes, hugs and kisses, and it's just that's it. You get the one of the guns you get is a rocket launcher, and remember I was saying that you could discard your card of like the gun card, and it does something different.
Yeah.
This one it's like a grappling hook.
Ooh.
And they will straight up have you like in the sky between buildings, just grappling somewhere. It pulls you there. You pick up another rocket launcher, and you keep doing that across. Like you feel like Spider-Man. It feels good.
Love it.
It's like first person Spider-Man. And it's just how fast it moves. And then the second ability, again, not going to go into it, but that it also makes you feel fucking badass, and it really ramps up the speed and like how quick you can move.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's real good.
I do want to try it. It does sound like, I don't think it would be one of those that I would end up finishing, but it would be like, I'll hop in from time to time and just like play a level or so, just get into it. Because there's games like that. There's Cluster Truck that I got so close to the end, but I was getting so mad that I just couldn't do it. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. But it was a fun game up until a point.
So I will say the good thing about Neon White is like I went for all the ace medals, and you do need to rank up enough to like move on to the next mission, but you rank up every time you get a gold medal at least. And I would say 80% of the time, no, I would say over 90% of the time, I would get at least a gold medal on my first try of the level, or the first time I completed it. So you don't need to like get all the ace medals to finish this game, to beat the game.
Yeah.
That was just like, you know me, I'm a freak with that stuff, and I have
But
to.
even so, like certain time slots, those are the things that can grind my gears down.
I'm telling you, it's not too bad in this. It's not too bad.
I still want to try it.
You should. I won't buy it for you, though.
That's okay.
All right.
I also beat a game, and it feels so nice to say that I'm just beating games again.
Yeah, we both kind of just, this last 2 weeks, we just started beating games again.
It's just, I mean, now that like the move is finally done and like I'm into like a regular schedule again, and like the timing just happens to work out, or like I'll wake up and like get both of us ready, and then she'll head off to work, and I'll have like hours and hours and hours before I even have to leave for work. So I'm like, all right, either I'm sleeping or I'm playing some games. And these past few days I've been playing some games. So I finally got to beat the South Park Stick of Truth. which
Hey.
I've been waiting a while to get through that, just finding the right time to just sit down. I feel like
Yeah.
the beginning few hours I was really digging, and then like hopping back into it. So when I hop back into it, I actually hopped back in a few times because I had to redo some progress that I guess didn't save, either wasn't fully checkpointed or whatever. But it wasn't like that bad. Last thing I said, I had to go like recruit the goth kids, and I was doing that stuff. I had to go back, rebuy the stuff to recruit the goth kids, and that was the point where I had to pick like who I wanted to side with, either Kyle's group or Cartman's group. So uh, I finally did that, and uh, the did I mention the alien crashing last time?
Yes. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about the aliens.
So day 2 starts, and the government is here, focus like trying to figure out what's going on with the aliens, and their way of disguising it and confusing the town people is that they're not necessarily the government. They're working on setting up the largest Taco Bell in the world.
Yeah.
Like they put a
Yeah.
banner on the like all around and on the crashed UFO, and it's like Taco Bell
Yep.
coming soon. And there's this one scene that was hysterical where the dude's like, "Are they gonna have enchiritos? Like, if you're saying that this is good, like, is this gonna be like a Taco Bell KFC combo type thing, or is it gonna be like a full fledged? I'm just curious what kind of menu are they gonna have enchiritos?" And the government guy's like, "We got someone asking too many questions here. He goes, deal with them." It's like, but he's asking if they're gonna have enchiritos. He goes, "We never thought of a backup plan. We didn't think this far. Take care of him." And so they just shoot the guy, and in the crowd of people just kind of like walk away like nothing happened. And the dude's like wife or whatever was like, I don't remember. So like, John, he's just dead. He got shot in the head. He's just dead on the ground. And I'm just like, oh my god. So the government's there, and now our mission is not only to get the stick of truth back, but also just to figure out what the government is up to. So I went and recruited the Goths. I brought him back to Cartman and sided with him. And the decision, I looked it up. The decision doesn't matter. It only really matters for like the next mission or two. But it's by the end of the game, it doesn't matter. Throughout, I started acquiring new spells and powers. I got a new fart spell. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but it's like a sneak one where you fart and you like guide it around, and whoever is in like the vicinity will be distracted by the noise. Like, huh, what was that? So I there was a little distracting section, and I did that in some more side missions. And so I ended up choosing Cartman, and I ended up having to fight Kyle and his group, and ended up winning because as like it's the weapons and stuff that they give you and the armor that you find throughout as you're leveling up is just getting more and more OP. Where like the when the battles come where it's the enemy's turn, that you still have to be wary of like what you're doing next, like of like who you're healing and like what you're doing. But if you I got into a rhythm, and that rhythm was so powerful. I had a really strong weapon, and I just kept drinking speed potions every single time, so it would just let me attack twice. And I was just, I was like, this is great. I'm just plowing right through all these enemies. It's feeling good. And we find out at the end of the day that the Stick of Truth has been taken by Clyde, and he is the one who's
fucking Clyde.
God damn it, Clyde. He's the one who's like, you can't do anything. I'm invincible. And it's like, all right, so now we got to band together and we got to take them out. But, you know, we might not have enough people. So day 2 ends. Start day 3. This is the final day in South Park. The government has gone crazy. And apparently out of the UFO is this sort of bacteria that is going around and turning people into Nazi zombies.
Yeah, I'm kind of remembering this. Yeah, this.
The absolute best part is that every zombie character that you fight, whether they are a human or a rat or a cat or a baby or a fetus, we'll get back to that. no matter what it is, their only spoken dialogue is the exact same clips from that one old Hitler speech.
Yeah.
Oh, what a glorious touch. I loved it. But the beginning of day
Out of
3,
context, that's really bad.
out of context, yes, but the fact that they just reused the same dialogue of that one speech is hysterical. And because it's like you just see like a little cat's like Mischleiben, blah, 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 and it's just like, oh my god, that's like every single time. It made me laugh. But you start off the day.
It's good South Park humor in this game.
Oh yeah, I start off the day and I get out of bed and there are these fucking gnomes, the underwear gnomes, and I start immediately destroying them, and they're like, "What the hell? Well, if you can't beat them, shrink them." And so they shrunk me down. And I had to do a fight again, which is a little harder because we're the same size, but I still took them out. And now I have the ability to just have gnome dust and shrink and grow whenever I please. So I went into this little hole in the wall, and oh my god. So I go in the hole in the wall, and immediately walking through, there's a rat trap, a mouse trap. And I walk on top of it, and it closes, and it kills me. So I'm like, okay.
That makes sense.
How do I get past this? There's got to be something. So I'm like, I go up again. I'm like walking halfway onto it. I'm like trying to hit it. I'm trying to use magic. I'm trying to fart on it. I'm trying to do whatever I can. I'm like opening up my alien probe to see if that'll do anything. Nothing. I died to this mousetrap 5 times. And I think I had to go like either go to work or do something else. So I came back. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want to play some South Park, and this is good. I have Emily next to me. I'm like, all right, you can help me. And I'm like, so, like, I'm stuck right now. What do I do? And she walks over. She stands on the rat trap and dies and reloads again. And then she goes up to it again, walks down, and walks around it. And I go, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I think the game's great. At some points, though, I feel like it is a little difficult to figure out where the correct route to take is, because it's all the same sort of like that papery South Park style, and it's when it's that when it doesn't have that sort of depth to it, it makes it much harder. So I'm like, I can't fucking believe that I had to just walk around it.
He's gotta walk. He's gonna go around it.
She just walked around it, and I just sat there and held my head in defeat. Like, oh, like I'm just so. Maybe I shouldn't be a gamer anymore. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm surprised you continued playing after that.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, because she was the one who was super hyped about me playing it. She loves South Park too, so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I still want to try it, and I'm like, worst comes to worst, I look up a walkthrough, and I don't know what's worse. Looking up a walkthrough to find out I just gotta walk around it. I definitely can't walk through it. I've died. But I was, oh man, that was something. But once I got out of there, and it had this hysterical boss fight. So you're in your house, walking around your walls, and you come out to get the gnomes, and you walk out into your parents' bedroom. They're fucking. Straight up fucking. And the boss fight in that is you underneath them as they're fucking, and you are fighting the gnome, and you gotta dodge out of the way of your dad's balls and shit. And what a great boss fight. This game has some great boss fights.
Yeah, it does.
But once I got out of there and grown up again, I went to go talk to the guys, and we realized we might not have enough people to take on all that's going on. So we gotta go recruit the girls, which is a hard task. And the things that they had me do, their whole thing was like, all right, we'll think about helping you, but we have our own problems. There's a lot of rumors going around that they saw someone going into the abortion clinic, and we can't have rumors and stuff like that. We need to know who's doing what and who's cheating on who and blah, blah, blah. So I had to go pretend to be someone's boyfriend. I had to go fight the other guy. I had to go stake out this abortion clinic and go and pretend to be like a little like lady doctor. And going through, and I had to what's the dude's name, the dad with the mustache who is crazy, and
Randy?
Yeah, Randy. So Randy's there, and he is like pretending to be a woman because we have to go find the like what's going on in there, and there's like some special information that we need. And in the process of all this, the government's coming in, and like there's like an outbreak, and there's more Nazi zombies and stuff, and they're trying to figure it out. So they don't think that I'm a real doctor, so I have to give Randy an abortion or pretend that I'm giving him an abortion. So I'm like using the suction, and I'm like sucking up one of his balls, and I got to move it out of the way and like pretend. And then at the end of it, the government guys is like, "Wow, she really is a doctor. All right, carry on." And I'm just like, "Oh, this is great." And that is when the baby Nazi zombie fetuses start coming out and doing their thing, which brings on one of the best boss fights, which is this massive like Resident Evil 8 Benaventura fetus looking thing that uses its umbilical cord as like another enemy, and also like something that attacks you. And I'm loving every single second of it. It is amazing. But after that, I finish up their thing. They give me this note that needs to be translated, and the only way it could be translated is if I go up to Canada. So I have to travel all the way up to Canada, talk to the prince, who has this whole scheme going on of who is like in his way. He wants me to take some people out and like clear up some areas, and it plays like like the old like Pokemon or like Earthbound type games, and I think that's hysterical. So I'm going around, and I finally translate the letter, and I also got to meet Philip and Terrence. And
I was gonna say, is this a Terrence and Philip thing? That sounds like a Terrence and Philip thing if you're going to Canada.
They teach me the final fart power, the strongest one, called the Nagasaki.
Nah.
Yeah, love it.
Yep.
So I talk to them. They see I'm worthy, and they teach me this final move, and I bring back the translated note, and they're good. They're on our side. So the last thing we have to do is go to Clyde and take back the Stick of Truth and finish off everything. And Clyde's pretty much getting taken over with the government as well. They're all over the place. They want to bomb the city and blow it up, and we got to stop them because that's not okay.
No, that wouldn't be good.
So we go up, fighting through his tree house. I'm taking out all of his enemies and all the little puzzles that are inside. I like a lot of the environmental stuff where you could just take out enemies by just using your brain and just shooting something that'll like fall or like electrocute them. That stuff's fun. But we get up to the top, and I take out Clyde and everything, and the government dude has the Stick of Truth, and he believes that he's going to be invincible and he can be the like owner of the universe and whatever. So he strips down completely naked and starts running around with the Stick of Truth, but he doesn't know how to use it. It's just a stick, buddy.
Yeah.
But at the end, he's like, "All right, are any of you can come to my side? Just fight by me. Come on, new kid, fight by my side. You can have all the power in the world," and no one moves except Princess Kenny, who walks over to the other side.
Yep.
And we're like, "Oh my god, how could you?" So this starts the final boss fight, and definitely one of the hardest. I ended up doing it two times because of all the phases. You got to kill Kenny like 4 or 5 times before it's over.
Yeah, I remember the final boss being a struggle.
It definitely was. Like, I really had to use a lot of those speed potions, and like I loaded myself up with like whatever strongest armor and weapons, and like I threw on my little modifiers to make my weapon stronger. Like I had this real strong weapon, I threw some fire on it, like whatever I can do, because there isn't a lot that Princess Kenny was weak to, and definitely just kept coming back with like 22,000 health each time, and I'm like, oh my god, come on. But after the second try, I finally got to the end, and it just ended. And then once it was done, the South Park credits came up, and I was just like, oh, I like that. That's cool.
Don't they have a thing at the very end where it's like the next day and Cartman's like, "Come on, new kid, we're doing this now." Like they're playing a new thing.
Well,
am I imagining that?
At the end, they're like, "What are we gonna play next?" And new kid speaks for the first time, and he goes, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Yeah, okay, that's
yeah. And Cartman's like, "What a dick! Like, what an asshole." Yep. but you just kind of wake up the next day and just like you can just go around and continue all the side missions and whatever else you didn't finish. But I'm very satisfied by the end of it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. There were definitely some parts that were like the depth and figuring out that kind of stuff. I had some issues with the, but possibly it's on Xbox's side with the quick resume or whatever, but losing some progress. But overall,
Yeah.
I really did wish I played this game a lot sooner than I did, and I'm very excited to play Fractured Butthole because the extended combat and more of that like sort of semi-strategy in a way.
It would be a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for that mousetrap.
Oh my god. I'm the idiot. I'm the idiot.
All right. Well, let's finish this. Let's finish these games off with another beaten game.
Look at us.
I beat OlliOlli World.
Ollie.
I knew I was towards the end. I had some extra time in my night, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just cap this one off?
That's America's ass.
So I
could do this all day.
I know you're referencing something. Like that's
you said let's cap it off.
Oh, okay. Captain America.
Capitan America.
All right, Capitan.
No, leave it in. Because people are going to question why I didn't say anything.
All right. Maybe we'll leave it in. We'll see. I
was really
took the notes.
People are going to be like, why didn't he say anything? Like, oh, well, there's extended lore.
Oh, there's extended lore. All right. So, do you remember? It's been a while since I talked about OlliOlli World.
Thank you.
Do you remember last time? You're welcome. where I said I can't do all the objectives anymore because it's just getting too hard to do them all.
Yeah.
So now imagine you haven't played the game in months, and then coming back to it, I definitely can't do them anymore.
Oh,
there
God,
you go.
no.
You're imagining it? Okay, yeah. So I decided I'm not going to worry about any extra stuff, and I'm just going to play through the levels just very casually and just finish the game. That's exactly what I did.
Nice.
And I think that's kind of where the game started to like shine for me even more, was the fact that this game kind of has something for everyone if you're interested in skating or like skating games like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to get into the real nitty gritty, if you really want to work on being real good at this game and going for crazy scores and doing all the bonus objectives, there's a lot of content in this game. Because every single level has like 3 bonus objectives, 3 scores to beat, and a couple other things in them, along with all the side quests that you can unlock and all the branching paths. But if you want to just a very casual experience of just, I'm just going to skate through this level, whatever path I end up on is the path I end up on, and just get to the end of the level, you can totally just do that and have it be less challenging, but kind of like just a cool casual skating game. Both worked for me really well. So I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think that this was a really fun skating game. Obviously different than something like a Tony Hawk or a Skate or, you know.
Have you played either OlliOlli or have you played OlliOlli 2?
No, this was my first OlliOlli game.
Okay. I played a decent amount of 2 and I enjoyed it, but it was one of those where it's like, I'll pick it up from time to time and like these challenges, I'm not that good at the game and I didn't necessarily care to put the effort in, but I did enjoy it for a little bit.
Yeah, so like I don't know what the differences are between the two. Because like I said, I didn't play. This is the first OlliOlli game I played.
Yeah,
but I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
I had a good time with it. It really, I was going for those challenges for a vast majority of the game, and then just at some point it became too hard. I didn't need to do it anymore, and the game was still a lot of fun not doing it. Something just about like skating sounds. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like launching the game and doing the tricks and the grinding and just the landing and the wheels rolling. It's so good. It's such a good video game thing.
I still have the audio clip of loading up Skate 3 like stuck in my head, like it's in my head and it will never leave. Like I think about that sound a lot.
We're going to talk about Skate in a little bit.
I mean, as the intellectual informant, we should inform those intellectually.
Wow. That was such a smart sentence.
Spoken like a true guy.
That comes off bad.
Spoken like a true sack of shit.
A lot better.
Yeah.
Much better. All right, those are games. Oh, boy. News. Dave, there was a decent amount of news this week. We played a decent amount of games, and there's a decent amount of news.
Can you fucking believe it?
That there's a lot of news?
Yeah.
I can. Because it was a light news week last week. It feels like that 2 weeks in a row, that doesn't happen.
I know. So we need some bangers.
Well, let's start with this banger. It's actually kind of a sad story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this whole Monkey Island thing. So, Ron Gilbert, he's the dude making this game who worked on like the original ones and shit. He's not going to be talking about Return to Monkey Island online anymore. He posted this in his own personal blog, which is now completely deleted, like altogether. Basically, it went beyond just like criticisms of how it looks, which, you know, that's fair game. If you think something doesn't look good, you could say it doesn't look good, but this kind of went like to an abusive route for some of the things he was getting in return for this game. So the quote that stood out that was from his blog was, "The joy of sharing has been driven from me."
What a sentence.
And that's such a sad sentence, because you think about working on this project and like, yeah, it does have a different art style from the original games, what I understand, and we both have said that, like, I don't know, like we didn't necessarily like it.
I mean, but neither of the prior games were like necessarily big things to us anyway.
No, it's not like we have this big connection and we came in and was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? We were just like, yeah, we don't really care about the Monkey Island games, and this isn't changing it.
Yeah.
But I never understood like becoming like abusive with that. Like, imagine from Ron Gilbert's perspective is he has put, I'm sure, a lot of work into this game, and he gets to finally come back to Monkey Island. He puts it out there, and something he should be proud of and excited about. And again, I'm not saying don't criticize things, because if you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not saying don't criticize things. Everyone should be criticized.
Yeah.
But to receive abuse because of it, something he should be proud of, and instead it gets met with that, like that quote, like, yeah, I wouldn't want to share anything about it anymore either.
This is our last episode. We've been getting way too much hate.
It's all from ourselves.
Look, I'm so sick of it. I am not promoting it on Reality Records. You fucking hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We do get a lot of abuse, actually. We get harassed.
Oh, yeah, we do.
By Reality Record bots.
Yep.
On Instagram.
So many dumb bots.
Yeah, bots suck. But yeah, that's some sad news. I hope it gets better.
Let's make it a little sadder.
No, that's Dave. I noticed you had this in your news again. Continue on with your. If I remember correctly, you called it your most anticipated game of 2022. I might be wrong. You could correct me, but that's how I remember it.
Dylan, I might have to criticize you for a second there.
Oh, well. Go ahead, criticize me.
So, there's a Ubisoft Forward announced, Skull and Bones. It's for July 7th.
I don't know what you were criticizing, because I could feel your excitement.
So, we've talked about this before. Anytime a Skull and Bones thing pops up, Dylan shoves it underneath my section of news to talk about. because he knows how much
you love Skull and Bones.
Like, you know who should be making the blog post that their joy of sharing has been driven from them? The Singapore fucking government. That's who should be doing it. Fucking,
imagine a government putting out a statement like that.
Like, their fucking embassy in the US is gonna come up and be like, hey, I'm sad now. And I go, good. Shut that fucking game down. Now. Fuck that game. Fuck that fucking game.
I can't wait for you to play this game.
I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna hate
it. It's gonna be so good.
I barely put any fucking time into any of the Assassin's Creed boat shit. Any of the extra shit.
Yeah, it's the boat shit is easily the worst part of the Assassin's Creed games.
And they keep putting it in there. And now they're making a whole game. And they want you to pay for it. They want you to spend money. Are you kidding me?
They really just went all in on the boat shit. And the thing is, you never actually see anyone ever really talk about how it's good. It's not like that's what I'm saying. It's not like we're just like, this is a thing for like you and me that we just don't like and everyone else loves.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone really loving the boat shit from Assassin's Creed.
No one. It's very majority widely hated.
Yeah, I can't wait for Skull and Bones to come out. I'm so excited.
Mad, grumpy.
Dave, did you play that 13 remake? Came out in 2020.
They remade 13? Oh! Yeah. Oh, wait, what? I gotta look at your news thing, because I read that as Final Fantasy 13.
No.
Yes, I did play 13, and I hated it.
You hated the remake?
I hated it.
They're remaking the remake, Dave.
Oh my god.
So they brought in a different developer. Their Tower 5 is the developer. They're going to be reworking and redoing the art style, the AI, the HUD, the sound design, and adding a multiplayer mode. This is all going to come out on September 13th, and it will be a free update to those who own the game.
I own the game.
This is following the people weren't happy with this remake.
There's a lot of criticism, and that game needed it.
So this is an interesting route to take.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool, especially if it makes it better.
I mean, because you see something like that, you think, all right, they're never touching 13 again. It's dead. They're gonna shut down that whole dev and everything, and they're all just gonna die. And they're just, all right, let's try it again. I got some extra millions, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing they're doing. Of course, all hinges on this remake of the remake actually being good. Like, if it has to be a big enough improvement for it to matter.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Imagine if this is just what games did, if it came out like shit and everyone hated them, and then they were just like, all right, here's a bunch of free updates. It's good now.
That's what every live service game has been for the past 7 years.
Yeah, except it feels like they get worse instead of better.
For the most part, but then again, I don't play Destiny 2, and people say that that's gotten great, or No Man's Sky, it's gotten great, and Fallout 76, games. And that it's gotten great.
Those are the games where if I had unlimited time, I would probably play them.
Yeah.
But I don't. I have very limited time.
Extremely.
Somehow, less and less time keeps happening.
Adult life. Can we just retire already?
I want to. I'm down.
What's going on, Shunny? Welcome back to episode 477 of
Boy,
what's going on, Shunny?
If that's us in episode 477, we're gonna age real quick.
I don't know, man. What is that gonna be like? I don't know, 7 years?
No, it's gonna be less than that.
1, 2,
right?
3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's like 9.5 years, maybe.
All right, we'll be in our 30s. We're not gonna be old.
What's up, my new generationers, my Gen Alphas? How you doing?
That's closer, but I think that is more of like a mid-40s.
Um, why don't they play George Lopez at 3 a.m. anymore?
There you go. Got it. You did it.
Perfect.
I watch a lot of George Lopez at like 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, it's the only time to
It
watch
was
it.
always on.
Nick at Night, dude.
Nick at Night was really good back then.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that was very informational.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
So we randomly got a Skate 4 trailer and some playtest information. They're having a closed playtest coming soon, which, oh god, I want to be a part of it. We got a little very early look at what they've been working on. The graphics definitely look much better. I mean, obviously 3 came out in 2010. But like there are definitely people ranking on it. It still has work to do. It's still coming out. As long as it feels good, that's all that matters. It could look like shit and still feel good, and I would play it every single day.
So the thing, actually, I watched through this because it's not like a long thing. It's like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that the way they did this was kind of really refreshing. Because they straight up said in the beginning, they called it, obviously it's not the official name, it was like pre alpha.
Yeah.
And they showed the like straight up like development side of things, of like how it looks to them as they're making it. I was like, this is kind of cool to see this side of things.
Take some notes, BioWare.
So open. Yeah. For them to be just so open about like, look, like this is not going to be what you expect to see. This is not like a finished product, but here's what we have so far. We're working hard on it, but it's going to take a while. But check out what we have. That was like, I really liked that.
Oh yeah, and they actually like gave you something a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a little part of one map, oh god, skate. I want it. Give me skate. I want skate.
Yeah, as someone who's never played Skate, but has played a lot of Tony Hawk, I know that they're different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready for more skateboarding games. It feels like they're kind of getting a little bit of a renaissance here.
Please.
Which is cool. But yeah,
I mean, I was the one who played a lot of Skate and only recently hopped into the remake of Tony Hawk and fell in love with it. But I still, like, my heart still goes to Skate because I love Skate 3. I've played so much Skate 3.
Nothing can ever replace nostalgia. It just can't.
No, it can't.
Whatever you grew up playing or listening to or watching, those will always, for your whole life, that's it. That's just, it's your favorite shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dave, we have a sad story. I didn't know this person. I haven't heard of them, but Technoblade. Did you know them?
I want to say it sounds familiar, but I don't know if I ever watched them.
So they were a 23-year-old YouTuber who had 10.8 million subscribers, which is that's a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So he was pretty popular. 23 years old. He just passed away from stage 4 cancer. Super sad. Go to our websites. Go to this episode, offshoregamescast.com/episode 55. In the show notes, there's a link to an IGN article that covers other stuff about Technoblade, a whole message he left to his fans that his father read in a video. It's just, cancer sucks,
It's there's so much bullshit in life, and that's the kind of shit that you never want to see.
No, especially 23 years old. That's
23 years old, successful, doing great, and still something like that can just absolutely obliterate you.
The message he sent to his fans that his father read, apparently he wrote it just like hours before he passed away.
Oh my god.
And it's just like shit like that where it's like, God, he was only 23, but you just know like he must have really loved what he was doing.
Oh yeah.
For that to be one of the last things he does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really sad. Really sad shit.
We got some interesting news. We got more God of War Ragnarok information.
It's certainly interesting.
We got a little bit of a cinematic and a full release date of it coming November 9th this year. So it did not end up getting pushed back to 2023, which I didn't think it did.
No, weren't they just coming out recently, like a few days ago? It'd be like, No, it's in 2022. Stop saying it's delayed. It's not delayed.
You get enough people to start a rumor, you get the real thing to come out.
You know, I wonder if they had pushed this forward just to be like, here, it's happening.
God, shut up. You're getting what you're getting. Trust me, we want it too. But it will have a bunch of editions, and the two bigger editions, the collector and the Jotnar editions, will have Thor's hammer replica, which I think is so cool, and I want it.
Yeah, that's as soon as you texted me, because you texted me that earlier today about the hammer, I was like, "That are you gonna get it?" Because that seems like something you totally would get.
Oh, I definitely want it. And as we suspected, we are getting an older Atreus. You could hear it in his voice, and he just looks longer than he did.
It does look longer. That's a good way to say it.
Because I don't want to say taller. He just looks longer.
Yeah, he's longer.
But I don't know. Like,
Atreus is longer.
I love the relationship that Joel and Ellie have, and I love the relationship that Kratos and Atreus have, and I am totally down to see more of that, and especially what Atreus will show himself, and like, how are we going to be playing as Atreus for part of this? Like, what do we?
Right, like is it? It's been since that first one came out, like the reboot but still sequel thing. The God of War from a few years ago. Like everyone's speculation right away was like, is this the beginning of the end for Kratos and they are pushing it towards Atreus? Or is it going to be still like this is Kratos's Nordic trilogy and then he moves on to another set of gods somewhere else?
I'm so down for that.
I'm kind of down for either.
Yeah.
After the last one and how this one looks, which I'm sure is going to be more God of War, that was a really fucking good game. So.
Oh yeah, I'm just ready to throw that axe and have it come right back again.
Yep. All right, we got some Mass Effect news.
Ooh.
I don't know how to say the last name. Mary DeMarle, I think that's how you say it. She has joined the Mass Effect team to work on the new Mass Effect as the senior narrative director. And the good news is she was the narrative lead on the Deus Ex games and the recent Guardians of the Galaxy game.
That's good.
Which was our game of the year last year, and a big part of that was because of the writing and the immersion.
Oh my god, so good.
I don't know if this necessarily means this, but just imagine you're on whatever this game's Normandy is going to be, and it just feels more alive like the Guardianship did, but it's Mass Effect. Like that in theory, that sounds pretty fucking good.
I mean, if they do anything like that in Starfield, I am never leaving my ship.
You're just gonna stay in the ship the whole time.
Yup. I already want to stay in the ship the whole time.
So we here at Offshore, we loved that Guardians of the Galaxy game. So
oh my god,
I take this as some good news.
I take that also as some good news. Even though I don't think Andromeda was too bad.
Yeah, you're weird.
I don't think the story was great, but I enjoyed my time.
So I will say the gameplay is pretty good in Andromeda, but it's just the story and the characters. It's just that's what you come to Mass Effect for, really, and it just didn't do it.
I mean, when you put that much work into a game, your face gets tired, you know?
Of course.
We do have a delay over here. Little Forspoken ended up getting delayed. They have finished for the most part, but they're in the polishing stages now, and they have decided to push the game back to January 24th, 2023 for both the PC and PS5 versions. It sucks, but at least they gave us like a date.
Yeah, it does suck, but we have a date, and it's just I'm already getting overwhelmed at 2023 now. Like I was overwhelmed with 2022, and then everything got delayed, and now it's 2023.
It feels like the beginning of the years have been so empty, and the end of the years have been so full up until this year or so. And now it feels like the beginning's been like chucking things out, and now it's like slowly getting pushed to the beginning of the next years.
Yep, I will say that like October, November this year, and like early December, it's looking like it's gonna have some bangers there.
Oh, give me Hogwarts. No.
So yeah, that's still no release date, but it's supposed to come out around that time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dave, let's talk about Battlefield. We got the news. Well, not exactly. There was a leak kind of that it looks like Battlefield might be returning to single player campaigns.
Good.
This is based on a job listing, and it looks like it's going to be led by Marcus Leto, the Halo co-creator, which that's a pretty big game. I don't know if you heard of it.
Oh, I've heard of Halo co-creator.
All right, that was pretty good. I wasn't expecting that. So we'll see. How do you feel about this, Dave? Because you've dabbled in Battlefield.
Was Marcus the guy who ended up doing Disintegration? Like, do I gotta look that up real quick?
Yeah, you gotta look that up because I couldn't tell you. Was that the one that was like kind of like Halo, but you didn't really like?
Yeah.
Or like you're commanding other troops or whatever.
Yes, it was. Yeah, Halo Disintegration veteran Marcus Leto is starting a new studio under EA.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I really didn't care for Disintegration. Halo's great, but maybe his third crack at it will be good in this sort of... It's not going to be sci-fi, unless it is. But, like, let's see. Battlefield 3, okay, the Bad Company games, amazing. Love the Bad Company games. Battlefield 3, I liked. I didn't really care too much. I know people love that one, but I also don't care about the multiplayer in these games. I didn't really care about Battlefield 4. And then Battlefield 1, they started to switch it up by giving you like 5 acts with you controlling a different protagonist each act and like doing something different, to which I still feel like that first act of Battlefield 1 is like, that should have been, you should have hit credits once that was over. That act has one of the most well acted scenes that I have ever seen in my life, and I will watch it over and over and just get goosebumps from watching it. I love it so much. And then Battlefield 5 came out. Hey, let me play Battlefield 3, 4, 1, 5. Battlefield 5 came out, and they did a similar kind of thing, but absolutely half-assed it to the point where one of the acts or whatever wasn't even out in release. Like, you had to wait 2 or 3 months for it. And what they had to offer, I hated.
Yeah, I remember that being a weird thing with that. Yeah.
I don't even know if I went back and finished it or like played that one. I was just like, this kind of sucks and I don't like this, and it's getting worse. The whole game is getting worse. Now I'm not even playing like 66% of it. But if they just go back to like a normal campaign, they could do great things, but they have a terrible track record these past few years.
Well, we got a couple responses. I asked the people, whether this gets them excited for Battlefield or if they're just kind of like done with Battlefield at this point.
I just read the other one.
Yeah, but yeah, this is good. Welcome to Game Corp, a friend of the show at Game Corp Pod on Twitter says, I'm not sure what more they can do as a series. It would be neat if they did a 180, but I don't see that happening. Sad face. I don't really know if I see them necessarily bouncing back either.
I mean, they've done like early war, then they moved on to like futuristic, modern day futuristic, and then they pulled back and did World War II twice. And now Battlefield, I completely forgot about Battlefield 2042 because that game is garbage, and I didn't even have to touch it. But it's like, it's the same thing that Call of Duty did. They just released Black Ops 4 with like a battle royale and the multiplayer and the zombies, and I'm like, why? What's the point? I know the campaign's like not necessarily what people go there for, but it's what I go there for. So fucking do it.
That's also the only reason I would play a Call of Duty or a Battlefield is for a campaign.
Literally.
Then we heard from Nave from the Gaming Together podcast, which is at Game Together Pod on Twitter. He said, I doubt it's better than the Anacrusis.
Oh, man.
we've been plugging that one a lot, but go listen to our episode on the Gaming Together podcast where we guested and talked about the Anacrusis. We mostly talked about other shit, but we also talked about the Anacrusis.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, Nave and Philip, we had a really good time with them. We'll probably do something else with them at some point.
I hope so.
I don't see why not. I'm sure I could just message them and be like, hey, you want to play this game with us or do this? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, content. Let's do it.
Yeah, content. I mean, that's how the shit works, right?
Speaking of content, starting October 1st of this year, there will be less content coming to Xbox. Apparently, no more 360 games will be added for the Games for Gold. And that raises up a few questions for me. Is this like, I've been a big criticizer, we're back, of the Games for Gold or Games with Gold because it's like you look at what PlayStation puts out for their 3 games, and almost every single time, at least one of them is like a real hot AAA. Like even if a lot of people have it, like God of War or whatever, like you're still getting God of War for free, and I'm over here like, oh, we're getting like Hydro Thunder Hurricane again for 360.
I love Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
I mean, I did play it for a little bit, but still, like, why? Like, just you're giving us, oh, we're giving you like $119.47 worth of games this month. I'm like, yeah, because you're charging too much and these games suck, and you're trying to like push them. No one cares. I can't remember the last time a Games with Gold came out, and I was like, hey, that's actually a decent offering. So they're just nixing the 360 games, and like, what does that mean? Is the service going out? Are they going to have 2 Xbox Series games and 2 Xbox One? Are they just going to have 4 Xbox One games? What are they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, it's also, so don't they have a lot of 360 games on Game Pass?
They do, but it's like, at that point, what do you do? Do you just nix Games with Gold? Because the people who have Games with Gold, there's a pretty good chance that they either have Game Pass already or are subscribed in some form where they get Game Pass, because it's really inexpensive. And if you're giving away games like Hydro Thunder Hurricane, but then you could just go on Game Pass and play Starfield Day 1, like...
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, though. Also, like, their Games of Gold is not Xbox's current or future.
No.
Game Pass and streaming and all that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that they are just going to like pull the plug on Games of Gold overnight. But this, to me, when I saw this, it felt like all right, it's starting.
Yeah. Whatever their plan is.
Yeah, but like it makes sense because that Game Pass is so insanely good that like it kind of makes these pointless. Because if there is a good game and they want to give it to you, they're putting it on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just, this is like the leftovers.
Yeah.
Sorry if your game was featured on Games of Gold.
It probably was. And a good thing for your little exposure, but oh man.
Yeah. All right, Dave. We got a Ubisoft Forward announced. It's going to be September 10th at 3 p.m. EST, Eastern Time.
It's so weird how late that is.
Yeah, they didn't really have much during the quote-unquote E3 time, or just Summer Game Fest now. It was just early June. And with each passing year, it's just feeling more and more like it's just going to be every publisher or developer or whatever doing their own thing.
Like completely separate from each other, too. To which, honestly, if it gets to a point where it's like every single month there's a new big like announcement, that's not that bad.
It's not. And since E3 like has basically, since it's not the really like the in-person crowds, which I thought like having a crowd. All right, I'm going to tie this into wrestling. You know I have to.
Ugh.
When you're watching wrestling, when there was the pandemic era of wrestling and there were no crowds, it hurts the product. When you're having a live E3 show and there's no crowd, it feels different to have like the person on stage and have no crowd.
Yeah.
Like getting the cheers or the big reveal starts and the name comes out, or like they show the character in the trailer and everyone's like starts cheering, that like added a lot for me.
Yeah.
And since we don't really have that anymore, and I don't think we're gonna have that anymore, it's just done. I much prefer the state of play Nintendo Directs type deals where it's just like, we're gonna show a game, and we're gonna show another game, and we're gonna show another game, and we might have this brief little talking thing, and then we're gonna show a game and another game, and it was just like, give me half an hour of a rapid paced games being thrown in my face over an hour and a half of still showing a lot of games, but then just like standing on stage and doing a lot of talking. It's just kind of like, all right, now show me the next game. Show me the next game.
So why are you making this game? I don't know. I wanted to make it. Huh. I can't wait to play this. Can you tell us anything else? No. Are you sure? No. All right.
Yep, that's how it goes every single time. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully more Avatar news, right? That's like the big Ubisoft thing they have right now.
There's that. I mean, there's also whatever Assassin's Creed Legacy or whatever it is going to be.
It was Infinite, right? Assassin's Creed Infinite.
Yeah, or Infinity,
or maybe it's Infinity. Yeah,
whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. Just
their live service Assassin's Creed.
Don't fuck it up. And you're Ubisoft.
It'll be on mobile.
You got a pretty good track record for fucking it up.
It'll be a Assassin's Creed Battle Royale mobile shooter, and it'll be out for like 2 days.
Fucking Ezio's rolling in his grave. Fucking Requiescat in Pace.
I don't know what you just said.
Rest in peace.
Oh, okay.
It was the big thing from Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. Every time
okay.
Requiescat in Pace.
You see, you have a brain for details like that. I played all those Assassin's Creed games, and it just... Nope.
Oh, I mean, I loved... I mean, 2 is my favorite, next to Valhalla. Like, Valhalla's a close... I loved Valhalla, but I love 2. 2's, like, the best, and I remember being so into it around that time, so I was really obsessed.
All right, Ezio.
What I'm not obsessed about is...
That was a smooth transition with me jumping and saying, all right, Ezio.
Oh, yeah, it was. Losing my train of thought.
Yeah.
What's not good is so we're getting info about Call of Duty Black Ops 5 before Modern Warfare 2 is even fully out yet. And as like people have stated before or earlier, as these games are now entering their full development cycles and not necessarily going through the loop of just having to come out, these games are going to leak so much sooner than like what we're used to. So Black Ops 5 ended up getting leaked through some images possibly in the Warzone mobile update. And you can see kind of like a destroyed airfield battleground in a way, and some high-tech airplanes and like stealth jets and stuff like that. And I remember when Black Ops 1, like, you have World at War. World at War is connected to Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War, blah, blah, blah. I miss when they were doing other things. Now it's only Modern Warfare and it's only Black Ops.
I wonder if... So I know they did World War II. But was that's what the game was called, right? Call of Duty World War II?
That was Sledgehammer.
And how was that? Did that game do well for them?
Not really.
I wonder if after, like, because wasn't it after that they were like Modern Warfare, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Black Ops? Like, I wonder if they wanted to go back to like their greatest hits just to try and get that money again.
See, even Infinity Ward was trying different stuff. They had Infinite Warfare and they had Ghosts, and they were trying to do like different stuff. And now they're falling back into the Modern Warfare-esque stuff. But like, Treyarch's been stuck on Black Ops, and I feel like they could definitely do other stuff. But like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the campaign for Cold War. I thought the multiplayer was fun for a bit, but I don't know. It was also so much shorter. They completely lacked a campaign for Black Ops 4. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to come back good in Black Ops 5, but I don't know. I don't feel like they're the same. Okay, well, I might be jumping the gun a little bit too much, because if this will have its own full development cycle, which I hope it does, and it wouldn't come out till possibly 2024, I have much higher hopes for it then. I feel like it's becoming too saturated.
I also, as someone who has never played a Black Ops game in their life, so I don't really care about Black Ops, it bothers me that the story, because of 4 not having a campaign, that it would like 3 to 5 to continue the story like that. I don't know. Shit like that bothers
you
me.
can't even connect 3 to 5. You can't even play 3 twice and fucking understand what's going on.
Okay, well, you know the point I was making, though.
Yeah.
Like, they have a Battlefield
it's all bullshit.
Take 2. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Why even call it Black Ops 4 at that point, then?
Marketing, money. That's it.
Yeah, I know. I just don't like it.
Why would they do that? Answer. I know the answer.
I wanted to be presented with a different answer that I liked better.
There is no other answer. It's just dumbass execs making dumbass decisions for stupid shareholders.
Yep.
Whatever.
Everything's about money.
We'll get some hint of Black Ops 5 coming in 2024.
Yeah.
Or more leaks up like even before then.
All right. Let's talk about a leak about Rockstar. They have apparently canceled remakes of GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption for now. So they're going to be focusing on GTA 6, just like full on focus on that, which makes sense. It's speculated that they decided not to move forward with these projects based on the reception of the GTA trilogy and the mess of a launch that was.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, based on what I was reading about this, like from the Kotaku report and from the tweets and stuff, it looks like it's gonna be. They weren't canceled, but they're like just not being actively worked on.
They're just shelved for now.
Yeah, they're just put there. The work is still there.
They know they're gonna make a boatload of money from these two at some point.
Yeah, and GTA 4. I don't know. I think they do better from a Red Dead remake than a GTA 4 remake.
Disagree.
You think so? Like, I like GTA 4. I enjoyed it just fine. But I feel like it's just
people love it. Like,
do they? Because I was gonna say I think it didn't blow up like 5 did.
Well, 5 came out at like a good time for. I mean, just like the consoles that it came out on, and just like I want to say the people who just became a certain age or maybe lied a little bit to be able to play it, and it just blew up. But like the love people have for 4, if they came out with a remake, it would do so well.
Like I said, I enjoyed my time with 4. Mm-hmm. I liked 4.
I think Red Dead would like gameplay wise would come off better between the two, but GTA 4 I think would do a lot better, like just sales.
What if they package them together, dual pack?
Oh, are they going to give us their own Rockstar orange box? I'd play that.
That's not a bad idea, actually. A Rockstar orange box.
Yeah, I mean, the orange box is one of the weirdest things, but also
it is.
Like, I look at that, I'm like, why do we have all these amazing games together, and this is how they were released? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. The orange box it is a weird thing, but it's cool that it happened.
Oh yeah. We got a remake announcement. So we heard a little bit about the Lollipop Chainsaw stuff, and now it is fully announced. The game will be coming out in 2023, and they're looking to recreate the original with as much of the original team returning as possible. And it'll have much more realistic graphics and, due to licensing, different music. I am just curious how that's going to go.
We'll see. It's coming in 2023, I think. So we'll see. I don't know. Like we talked about last week, but you played, I haven't, and it seems like a game of that time that maybe doesn't work in this time.
Definitely the climate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But fuck it, I'll play it.
I'll give it a try just because I never played Lollipop Chainsaw. I always knew of Lollipop Chainsaw.
Honestly, Lollipop Chainsaw is like think of like if God of War 2018 had like a crazy Japanese ripoff.
I mean, all right.
You're running around
I would do that.
slaughtering they're zombies, but like they're like think of like the Draugrs from God of War, and you have your boyfriend Nick's head on your belt like Mimir, and you're running around with a big weapon, and you're just slicing and going around. It's pretty much it, except it's a lot sluttier.
That they should just hire you as their PR person, because what you just said made me way more interested in Lollipop Chainsaw than I was before.
Just go, you like slutty God of War? Come back next year.
Yeah, yep. They should hire you.
Thank you.
All right, one more news story before we move on to notable game releases. We got a Gwent announcement. They announced Gwent Rogue Mage, and it's coming out July 7th, so today. It is a roguelike Gwent game, single player.
Deck builder.
Yeah, deck builder. And it's going to be on PC, iOS, and Android. It looks like it's going to have a story, but it's not the focus.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it'll just be the type of story of like, just go through playing against these characters and stuff, and like just very basic shit. But gameplay focused. It will take, based on what I think it was the game director talked to IGN. It's going to take over 30 hours to do and see everything in the game. It'll be $9.99, and then there's like a deluxe version for $20, I think. But I don't know. I'm interested. I liked Gwent in The Witcher 3.
I'm still waiting for CDPR to come out with the fucking remaster update bullshit, so I could even try Gwent, because like I do want to play it, and I think about these things like Gwent Rogue Mage, and I'm just like, ooh, that sounds like it could be fun, but I think I just want to go back and play Slay the Spire. I think that's what I really want.
I'm not stopping you.
No, somebody should though.
So you'll never play another game again.
It's a lot. It's addicting.
I think I might give this a try this week. That's my curse. Whenever it's the game that I'm going to try this week, it's never that week that I try it.
Nope.
So we'll see if I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to, so we'll see. All right, Dave.
Let's be notable.
Let's be notable intellectual informants.
There wasn't really a lot this week. I looked up something else, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this. But these are both coming out July 7th, so today, if any of you are busy or not busy or wanting to slack off at work, or maybe you are taking a fat shit and want to play something.
What?
I don't know.
What?
It's 11. No, not you. It's 11:37 at night. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, starting off, we got Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series coming July 7th, 2022 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
And then we got the game I just talked about, Gwent Rogue Mage. As I said, July 7th, today, PC, iOS, and Android. Those are our notable releases this week.
That's pretty exciting. Not really.
And then next week, we're going to have some very notable releases.
Oh, yeah, we will.
It feels like next week is when things start coming out at way too rapid of a pace to survive.
Stray.
Yeah, Stray's one of them. It's coming out the same day as two other games I'm interested. Then 2 days later, I got two other games I'm interested. Then a week later is another. A week later is another. A week later is another, and another, and another. Yeah.
We just
start next week is. Yeah, next week is the start of never-ending releases for me.
Oh yeah, let's see. I'm looking at the list. Let's see. I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that. I definitely want to play that. Yeah, let's go into August.
It's a decent amount in August too.
I mean, yeah, we're getting Saints Row. I'm definitely playing that.
Roller Drome's August.
Right.
Midnight Fight Express, that weird immortality movie live action mystery thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's August. It's a lot of September too.
You know.
There's a shit ton. There's so much in October.
Oh God.
Well, I guess not Forspoken anymore, so that can move. But there's still so much in October. Like, just all right,
Oh
Dave,
my
bear with me for
God.
October. October has High on Life, Marvel's Midnight Suns, A Plague Tale Requiem, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Scorn, Gotham Knights, and Star Ocean: The Divine Force, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and the Resident Evil Village DLC Shadows of Rose.
Yeah.
That's just in 1 month. That's so much.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
And that's not even including the fact that, yes, I'm like, Hogwarts Legacy is going to be coming out. Beginning of November, you got God of War.
Like, this is getting to the
Pokemon's
part
coming out in November.
where, like, the next few months have, like, the big stuff that I'm very hyped about. Like, the Pokemon, Callisto Protocol.
Like, yep, that's, right in the beginning of December.
I'm still excited for Saints Row. I'm still a Saints Row fan.
Yeah, I am too. I never played. I played Saints Row 4, but yeah. I'm excited for this one. Yeah,
I think it's good sometimes to pick the worst game of the series to start with.
Sure. Why not? I don't know.
It can only get better from there.
That's if you're picking the worst one. That's true.
That's what I did with No More Heroes.
Yeah, you played like the one that doesn't fucking matter.
And he struck back.
All right, we're gonna finish this. Something about the last 10 minutes made me really tired.
I'm just really tired.
I'm tired of your shit.
I gotta get up at 6 a.m.
Oh boy, I don't have to get up at any time tomorrow.
I know, you little off boy.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow.
Look at you, still being off on Thursdays.
Thursdays and Fridays, it didn't change for me.
Oh, look at you.
It's going to change in a month, though.
Oh, yeah, well.
We have big changes in a month.
Mm-hmm. Nah, all my changes are pretty much over with. Your changes are going to be coming up.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, that's life, right?
That's life. Let's get high on it.
All right. On that note, let's end this, Dave.
I'm breaking up with you.
Whoa. Hey,
you started it.
No, not like that.
You can't fire me. I'm breaking up with you.
No, take it back before we end this. You have to take it back.
Take it back now, y'all. 1 hop this time. 2 hops this time. There's so much cat hair.